Well guys, welcome. This is the first video on the RB Tech channel. Today we're gonna take a look at the Arduino Uno R3. So this is third generation Arduino Uno. What it is, it's a microcontroller. So what is a microcontroller? It's basically a miniature computer, very miniature, and don't quote me on that because there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. But this is the Arduino Uno, and if you've ever been on a DIY site for electrics, this is probably the microcontroller you have seen on that site. It's one of the most used microcontrollers around there for commercial use. It's an 18 mega 328, which is positioned right here, and it's a 5-volt microcontroller. You've got on one side you've got your USB input and your power input. This can be around 7 to 12 volts. That's recommended. The limits are 6 to 20 volts, which I would recommend to put a heatsink on the voltage regulator, which is positioned right here. It's got 14 digital I/O pins, which are over here. Those are from 0 to 13 because we always start at 0. And it's got 6 analog pins, which are on the other side. So, well, it's pretty self-explanatory because you've got digital pins, also PWM, which I will explain later on, and you've got analog in. As you can see, you've got power here, so which that means is you've got your I/O ref, if you can read that. Yeah, there it is. And you've got your reset, so you could put a reset switch on it, although you've got a reset switch right here. Further down, you've got a 3.3 volt pin out, so if you got something that works on 3.3 volts, you can hook it up over here. You've got a 5 volt output, and you've got 2 ground pins and a fin. This is actually, well, some people say VIN, but it is V in, voltage in. So the voltage that's going in on over here, so that could be between 6 to 20 volts, is outputted on this pin. So if you're putting in 12 volts, you will get 12 volts on this pin. So it passes the voltage regulator over here and is straight attached to the DC jack. Well, then you've got the analog in I/O ports, which are, well, analog input. And then you've got the digital ports, which are 14 with an TX and RX port on the first and second I/O port. Then we've got a ground and an AREF, and which are not seen because there is a header in the way. When we turn it, we've got an SDA and an SCL port. Those are used for protocols like I2C and DMX. Further back to the 18 mega 328. It's got a flash memory of 32 kilobytes and SRAM of 2 kilobytes, EEPROM of 1 kilobyte, and a clock speed of 16 megahertz. This doesn't sound like a lot, but for the places where you use this board and for the things you use it for, it's a lot. Well, a lot. It's enough. Let us say like that. Then you're gonna ask, what's the current? Well, you can put almost anything in it, because if you are familiar with some electricity laws, you will know that that's possible. It outputs 40 milliamps on the I/O ports, so that will be those over here and those over here. On the 3.3 volt over there, you'll get 50 milliamps, because, well, laws of electricity, it's a lower voltage, so, and the resistance is the same, so the amperage goes up. So, well, yeah, there was the first quick review on the Arduino Uno, and I'll see you guys later.